So tell us about this exhibit at the High Museum of Art.
Well, we have here 100 years of Western art. So paintings, sculpture, photographs, as well as Plains Indian material that really tracks the history of the West. We also, it's an interesting timing for this show because 100 years ago in 1913 was Buffalo Bill's Wild West's last presentation here in Atlanta. So it's fun to have it here now 100 years later.
What are some things that stand out that people should look at when they come and check out the exhibit?
Well, I think we have a great depth in representations by Frederic Remington, who we think of as a cowboy artist, but we have some really surprising examples of his work as an impressionist painter, landscape painter. Some tremendous and really beautiful works from the Plains Indians cultures from the late 19th century, as well as I think some just knock your sock off paintings, landscape paintings from the late 19th century.
No, it's not often I see firearms in the High Museum. What are those that you have here?
Well, we have a collection of firearms. We have about 10 firearms in the exhibition. One of them is actually Annie Oakley's gun, and then we have two of Buffalo Bill's famous six-shooters. But we also have examples of objects that really played a role in the history of the West. So, for example, the first repeat-action rifle that was introduced in 1866. We have probably the best example of that model that was manufactured for the Centennial Fair in 1876 in Philadelphia. And it would have been a real expression of American manufacture and ingenuity as well as artistry sort of blended into one.
What's one of the significance of Buffalo Bill?
Buffalo Bill was truly a performer, an international performer, and he was the man who brought the West to the world. So after really the West had, the frontier had been closed, there was no longer the sort of unknown land sort of at the borders of America. He took the idea of the West, his experiences in the West, and transformed it into pure entertainment and traveled it across the world. So I think what we think of as the West today really originated with Buffalo Bill over a century ago.
Now, we're in the South, we're Southerners. Why should Southerners know about the West?
Well, of course, the West wasn't always in Wyoming. I mean, the frontier begins here on the East Coast and certainly in Georgia. And, this is not just a Western history. This is, relevant to our nation as a whole. This is our national art. And, also it's just great stuff. Just come see it.